Rob Roy was the 1995 twin film of Braveheart. What do I mean by twin film? Well, twin film is they're a set of two that are that just happen to come out the same year, maybe one year after the other, and they happen to be very, very much alike. Two great examples of this are from 1998. Okay, no, three good examples from 1995. There's Deep Impact and Armageddon. There was Saving Private Ryan and The Thin Red Line, and there was Ants and a Bug's Life. Look at those films. Those three pairs. Yep, those are twin films. Need I say more? Now, Rob Roy. Okay, I've heard people say that this is based on the novel by Sir Walter Scott. I've heard people say that this is not based on the novel by Sir Walter Scott. Whatever. This is. I just want to critique the film itself with Liam Neeson, directed by Michael Canton-Jones. This film with Liam Neeson is not as good as Braveheart. What could be, really? I've seen thousands of films in my life, and yeah, Braveheart takes top 100 for sure. But does Rob Roy compare to Braveheart? You know, if you're a massive fan of Braveheart, then yeah, you might think that Rob Roy comes up short. It kind of does, I'll admit. I just recommend that you see both films far apart from each other. Like, don't watch Braveheart and the next day see Rob Roy, or vice versa. See them so that there's a big gap in between them, so that you have time to forget each film. Even if you don't, then you're probably gonna think to yourself, "Oh, there's like Braveheart is so much better." If you get that stigma out of your head and you just focus on a really good historical epic, well, if you want to call it an epic, if you want to just focus on this great historical piece of work, then you'll have a wonderful, splendid time with this. So, yeah, I'm not sure if this is really based on the novel by Sir Walter Scott. I just know that it is a fabulous piece of work. It is with Liam Neeson, Tim Roth, John Hurt, Brian Cox, Eric Stoltz, and Jessica Lange. So it's about in 18th, maybe 16th, maybe 17th century, I don't remember, Scotsman named Rob Roy McGregor, who's played by Liam Neeson. And he and his family and fellow villagers live in poverty. Famine has plagued their land, and he wants to go and really make some money. Takes out a loan to make some profit. Meanwhile, John Hurt's character, who's the king, he's not really the king, but he's like one of the head political people of Scotland. They don't really make it clear of his position. He's not the Duke. The Duke is played by one of the other guys. But anyway, his latest assistant is Tim Roth, who is kind of eccentric, kind of flamboyant. But it's mainly just an act that he puts on to really impress John Hurt. Tim Roth has received his only Oscar nomination for this role right here, playing this man, and he is quite the brute. And he's an expert sword fighter too. So when Rob Roy goes to take out the loan, Eric Stoltz, who is Rob Roy's best friend, goes to collect the money, but he gets destroyed by Tim Roth, and Roth takes money for himself, makes Eric Stoltz disappear, and makes it out so that Stoltz ran away and took the money for himself. But Rob does not believe any of that, and frankly, Rob Roy won't let anything go. So things just keep going and building, and it eventually leads to catastrophic nature for everyone. Catastrophe, I mean. And this movie is quite brutal. Not nearly as brutal as Braveheart, except for this one scene with Jessica Lange and Tim Roth. Yeah, just know that it's quite violent. And yeah, this movie right here, I wouldn't call this really much of an action film like I would with Braveheart, due to Braveheart's extreme nature of violence. But this movie does have some battle scenes, some violence in it, but it's not nearly as bad as Braveheart. The acting is top notch. Jessica Lange, okay. The one thing that this movie does have going for it that totally beats out Braveheart is its love story. Jessica Lange plays Rob Roy's wife, and it's quite intriguing. I totally love this romance between them two. It's quite brilliant. I really loved it. And of course, as the things keep growing and growing in this, you really wonder, and I totally love this about this film. You wonder how on earth are the good guys supposed to win, really? Like Tim Roth, he is such a slime in this, and even Brian Cox is quite the bad guy, and how on earth are they supposed to win? But it's got to happen somehow. And of course, this has more of a complex story to it in terms of like the loans and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, as things happen, this movie is very, very well choreographed. The music in this is very, very top notch. This the gap between this and Braveheart are really not as big as you think. It's actually quite closer, and to the point where I totally adore this film. I'm going to have to give Rob Roy 4 stars.